By the fall, they were issuing sports bras. And I can't tell you the number of women who expressed excitement to me that they were finally getting sports bras. But ironically, instead of being very grateful and appreciative, they were really angry because they're saying, why now? How come after all this time?
I guess I assumed that the money wasn't there. Otherwise, we would have had that situation before. We would have had the locker rooms to ourselves and not have to share them with the other team. So it was surprising to me that suddenly this money appeared out of nowhere.
It was a result of the efforts of the women on gymnastics and volleyball, and that they'd stuck their necks out.
For me, the first time I realized that it was a larger issue than any one team or one group of people, that it was about women's sports in general. And I was thankful that there were women out there who had the guts and the courage to stand up for what they believed was injustice happening in women's sports.
Although Brown settled the conditions and treatment issues, the university would not settle on the point that women should receive athletic opportunities equal to men, because in its view, women just didn't have the same interest level. Brown would defend this position all the way to the Supreme Court.
Craftsman has come up with another smart solution that simplifies projects and saves you time. The Craftsman Speedlock Drill and Driver System. This patented Speedlock Quick Connector is the heart of the system. It fits any drill and works with keyed or keyless chucks. The Speedlock's simple click-in, click-out action makes changing bits so easy you can do it with one hand without re-chucking. Speedlock lets you do even more with this combination drill driver. Drill a pilot hole and countersink. With a quick flip, drive in the screw straight and flush without changing bits or tools. Choosing the right tool can make any job go more smoothly. At just $29.99, the Craftsman Speedlock system is essential for anyone who owns a drill. And because it's from Sears, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back.
Call now to order your 31-piece Craftsman Speedlock set for only $29.99 plus shipping. Call 1-800-755-9922.
Women in Sports Weekend continues tonight at 8. The original documentary, On the Basis of Sex, the Battle of Title IX.
I don't know what it's like to not have the opportunity.
Followed at 9 by an ESPN town meeting, featuring a discussion of the impact and legacy of Title IX.
Billie Jean King, I think when she put on a performance against Bobby Riggs, it had a huge impact on the sports world.
ESPN's Women in Sports Weekend. Coverage continues tonight on ESPN.
The world's greatest sled dog team, Scooper, Duchess, Sniff, and Demon, is going to teach their new owner his inheritance really bites.
Okay, just like a jet ski with first.
There's no dog like a snow dog.
Tell me about it.
Disney Snow Dogs.
Playing this month on pay-per-view.
Soul Food, a Showtime original series, is back and getting ready for an all-new third season.
Wait. Oh, right in the ear.
Soul Food returns with all new episodes beginning Wednesday, June 26 at 10/9 Central, only on Showtime.
Part of Showtime Unlimited, added for $12 or less per month. Call 1-800-DIRECTV to order now.
What Brown was trying to do back in 1994 was to show that women's interest in athletic programs were different than men's. Just like their interests were different in a variety of other extracurricular activities.
There are activities in which boys participate more and girls participate more. We're so hardwired as a culture.
Cohn versus Brown raised a controversy as old as Adam and Eve, the Olympics, and baseball. Do men and women really share the same interest and ability in sports?
Brown University really argued women have less interest and ability in athletics than men.
They're simply aren't as many women interested in participating in sports as there are men. It's that simple. It shouldn't surprise anyone. You have to have had your head in the sand for the last 2,000 years to be surprised by that.
There's a 100-year history or more of male domination of sports, and almost 100-year history of the exclusion of women from sports. It's hard to say blatantly women were not interested in sports when they didn't have opportunities to participate.
If you build it, they will come, exactly. And it has proven true. I mean, you know, we have fields of dreams and swimming pools of dreams and basketball courts of dreams.
It is a condescending view to tell women that they're interested in sports, or to tell them that they're more interested in being engineers or taking course X, because they don't really know what their interests are.
It's a question of what you think women are. If you think that women really are the same or should be the same as men at 18, and I'm not so sure.
It seems peculiar to me that we can take differing levels of participants in athletics and attribute to discrimination, but then we're going to look at dance programs and attribute that to men being less interested in the females.
I think that colleges in some way believe that women have a certain level of maturity, that they don't need to beat themselves and other people up at 18, and so they really do have different interests at that age.
Just like the argument was made that blacks couldn't go to law school and blacks really couldn't learn, what I heard is women really couldn't be athletes, that they really didn't have any interest in those male areas, and that if they did have the interest, they were kidding themselves and they couldn't be any good.
It's not because of discrimination. It's because they are not as interested. What you have is punishing males for being more interested in sport.
I actually was troubled by the notion that the proponents of the Title IX suit were assuming that women should and would want to participate in collegiate athletics to the same extent that the men did.
I would say men engage sports more than women engage sports. I mean, I'd just be hard-pressed to say they like it more, they like it better, they like it differently. I think that they just engage them differently.
It's about opportunities and having the equal opportunities. I, for example, had no idea what rowing was, so I gave it a try. And because of that opportunity extended to me, I became an Olympian, a bronze medalist, I represented my country, and now I'm a member of the International Olympic Committee because of that opportunity.
It wasn't history or social pressure that drove this debate, but law, Title IX, and its three-part test.
The three-part test requires that you measure whether or not an institution is providing equality of opportunity.
The first test is whether women are given a percentage of opportunities to play sports in line with the percentage of women in the undergraduate student body. So if women are 48% of the undergraduates and women get 48% of the chances to play sport, well, then there's no discrimination.
And if they're not substantially proportionate, then you turn to the question of whether the institution has a history of continuing to develop the program for the underrepresented gender, here women.
Brown was convinced that it satisfied the second prong, that being expansion of teams, because it had added so many teams in the 70s. Yet Brown had not added a team, I believe, in 10 years. And so Brown failed that prong as well.
And then the third part of the test is, even if they haven't continually been adding these sports as the interest develops, if their current program offers opportunities for all of the women with the interest and ability and competition available, they're in compliance.
The key to Brown's defense was that it already met the needs of its women athletes and had the statistical evidence to prove it.
Brown surveyed the students to find out what the women were interested in doing. And the numbers that they came up with were that about 40% of the people that were interested in sports on the campus were women, and about 60% were men, which is about where the program was in the early 90s. About 38% of the athletes on campus were women.